Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Look North, our top story tonight. Kevin Sinfield takes another gruelling challenge to raise money for research into MND. Prince William calls it a fitting tribute to Rob Burrow.
Kevin, Catherine, I just want to wish you the very best of luck for what's going to be a very gruelling week, raising money and awareness around MND.
We catch up with the tireless fundraiser at the finish line of day 2. Also tonight, the Health Secretary criticises the care of a 5-year-old boy who died after being sent home from hospital in Rotherham. After more than a decade of silence, an historic pipe organ in North Yorkshire is restored to its former glory. And Christmas must be on the way because we're live at Sheffield Children's Hospital for the switch on of the beautiful snowflakes.
Ominous looking clouds on Farndale on the North York moors. You can see that big shower cloud, but tomorrow looks a lot better. Join me for that detailed forecast.
Hello there, good evening. It's the first Look North of the week. Thanks for your company. We start tonight with Prince William, who's called it a fitting tribute to Rob Burrow. Yes, Kevin Sinfield has embarked on another gruelling challenge to raise money for research into motor neurone disease. The Leeds rugby legend is running 230 miles in 7 days across the UK. His challenges have already raised £10 million. This one is more poignant following the death of his former teammates in June. Here's Phil Bodmer.
Liverpool's famous waterfront was the setting for the start of Kevin Sinfield's latest 7-in-7 ultramarathon. His former teammate and fellow rugby league legend Rob Burrow died from motor neurone disease in June at the age of 41. What began as a simple idea and a promise to a much-loved friend has snowballed into an annual event, raising around £10 million for MND.
It's been so special to be involved in. There's nothing more powerful than providing hope to people, and you know, if we can keep doing our little bit and providing our own little bit of hope for that community and for people across the UK who've had their own journeys with MND, then we'll continue to do our little bit too.
This week, as with previous challenges, the former Leeds Rhinos player will run 230 miles through countless towns and villages across England, but this time will also include Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. The Prince of Wales, who awarded Burrow and Sinfield their CBEs at the Leeds Rhinos ground in January, posted a social media video where he described the new challenge as a fitting tribute.
What you and Rob have achieved has been incredible. It's a very fitting tribute to his legacy, what you're achieving again this week. And I'm sure you'll be running with him in your mind the whole way round. So the very best of luck from Catherine and I, and we'll be thinking of you all week. Good luck.
The incurable condition affects the brain and nerves. Former Huddersfield Town striker Marcus Stewart said the support he received after finding out he had MND had been overwhelming.
If you let your emotions get hold of you on days like this, then you know you could be crying all day, but it gives a lot of hope to 5,000 people. That's what he does. He's got another 5 days left, hasn't he? 5-6 days left, so he's off to Ireland tonight, so you know he really will be running over the Christmas soon.
The running home for Christmas route will end in Saddleworth on December the 7th as a mark of respect to the number 7 shirt worn by Rob Burrow. Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North.
Gosh, what an incredible effort that is. A short time ago at the finish line, a very exhausted, as you can imagine, Kevin Sinfield spoke to reporter Amanda Parr.
How are you feeling emotionally? Because this whole 7 days is going to pull up a lot of feelings for you.
Yeah, it does. I think, especially when you're tired, you know, you're probably a bit better at holding some stuff back when you're fresh and you can hold it together a bit better, but certainly at certain moments today, the extra mile was particularly tough. You see a lot of people in wheelchairs and that's hard, but it's great to get it done today.
You've got a long journey ahead, 5 more days. Just remind us what the money that you raise is going to achieve.
Well, it does two things. We represent a whole host of different MND charities, but in particular we want to find a cure, so it goes to research and try to find, it helps fund some drug trials, but trying to find a cure. And then secondly, And in some cases, more importantly, the human side, how we help families who are already on that journey, and how do we ensure they're remembered properly, how do we ensure that their journey is a little bit smoother and a little bit better, and they have some great experiences with the kids or grandkids, and you know, the human side of it, which is often left when something like this happens. So it's certainly something we're passionate about.
We're doing this makes people seen and people heard, so everybody is entirely grateful to you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
No doubt his thoughts will be with his teammate Rob Burrow. Next tonight, the Health Secretary has said there are no excuses for the series of failures in the care of a 5-year-old boy who died after being sent home from Rotherham Hospital. A new investigation has been launched into the death of 5-year-old Yusuf Nasir. His family met Wes Streeting this afternoon. Ollie Constable reports.
Yusuf Nasir was described by his family as an energetic and happy 5-year-old. He died days after being seen at hospital in what they say was preventable. In November 2022, Yusuf had gone to a GP after complaining to his family about a sore throat. On the 15th, he was assessed and given oral antibiotics. His condition worsened and he was taken to Rotherham Hospital's urgent and emergency care centre. He was diagnosed with severe tonsillitis and was given an extended prescription of antibiotics and sent home. 3 days later, he was seen again by a GP and then taken to Sheffield Children's Hospital. There, he was moved to an intensive care unit and died on the 23rd, 8 days after first being seen. A report found independent consultants said Yusuf's care was appropriate, but the family reject this. They said Yusuf should have been admitted at Rotherham Hospital and given intravenous antibiotics earlier.
We was begging them for treatment, begging them for IV antibiotics, following our GP visit and following the doctor's advice. So I know what went wrong, we know what went wrong, we know that opportunities were missed, very easy opportunities were missed. So for us, it's very important that the truth comes out and we can action it and not happen to any other person.
A new investigation has now been approved, with Yusuf's uncle meeting Health Secretary Wes Streeting today. He hopes for more answers, looking at the care that was given.
We're very confident because we know that we've got the government involved. We know we've got Wes Streeting, who's keeping a very close eye on the investigation. We know we've got Amanda Pritchard, who's the CEO of NHS, who's deeply involved. She's also keeping a very close eye on this and making sure that things get done, not just implemented, but also fully followed, procedures followed and changes to be made.
The Rotherham NHS Foundation Trust says it will fully cooperate with any further investigations, just like it did with the original independent inquiry. For Yusuf's family, they hope this fresh review will bring them the answers they need.
Well, in the last few minutes, the Health Secretary has commented on this case, saying Yusuf and his family were failed. Ollie, what more can you tell us about that?
Following that meeting, Mr Streeting said there were no excuses for a series of failures in Yusuf's care. He said the family had been failed in the most appalling and tragic way possible. He'd been speaking with Yusuf's family, hearing their account about his death. He said it was absolutely clear that the family did not have confidence that all their questions had been answered and welcomed this new review.
Ollie, thank you. OK, let's move on now. A York MP has joined doctors and charities to set up a commission to improve end-of-life care. It comes after MPs last week voted in favour of the assisted dying bill. Rachel Maskell MP says every dying person should get high-quality medical and emotional support. Ruth Penrose from North Yorkshire, who has MS, says although improving palliative care is important, she felt relief when MPs voted in favour of assisted dying.
I worked in a hospice and I've seen the marvellous work that they do, and they deserve support to continue providing essential palliative care. But for those that are settled upon the fact that they are dying and their desire is to avoid unnecessary suffering, those who perhaps wish to end their lives without dignity preserved.
That was Ruth Penrose. Let's talk a bit more about calls to improve end-of-life care alongside any future law changes around assisted dying. I'm joined by Dr Bill Noble, a former consultant in palliative care from Sheffield. Bill, you were very much against this bill. Now it's been voted through. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think the principle that it needs to be considered is valid. That's what came out of the debate. There were 3 concerns that came out of the debate concerning coercion, concerning the effect on palliative care, and the possibility of a slippery slope. I don't see any of those 3 being adequately addressed if assisted dying is put into our current health services in the state that they're in at the moment.
As you say, something that did come out of the parliamentary vote was a discussion around palliative care, and a commission has been put forward by York MP Rachel Maskell to look at that. How important is it that we're having this conversation?
It's very important, and it's a great shame that it hasn't happened already. The problem with palliative care in this country is not only that it's not funded by the NHS sufficiently, most of its funding comes from charitable donations, but even more important than that, it's not coordinated, so that there are a lot of places in the UK where you cannot get specialist palliative care in a timely fashion, or at all in some places. And also, palliative care in many places isn't standardised. There's no systematic way of assessing patients to get the right level of palliative care that they require.
As someone who has worked in this field, do you feel that we wouldn't have got to the point of having an assisted dying bill if palliative care was universal, there was a universal approach and funded in a way that meant people could have the dignified end that they wanted?
Well, I don't believe that palliative care has all the answers for everybody, because so many people just don't want to burden their family, or either emotionally or financially. So there'll always be a call for it. But I don't think there would be the volume of the bad stories that we heard in the debate. It's also important that hospices provide a efficient method of palliative care that actually is focused on making sure that everyone that needs it gets it.
Thank you so much. That was Bill Noble there talking to me earlier. Let's have a look at some other stories coming into the newsroom now. 2 men are in hospital with serious injuries after a crash in Bradford. Police say a car failed to stop for them on the Barking End Road just before 10 o'clock last night. A few minutes later, the car was involved in a collision with another vehicle on Shipley Airedale Road. It's caused major disruption on the roads in the city centre. Leeds Council has paused plans to cut down a 180-year-old oak tree in Otley after protesters got in the way. Now, the council did want to rebuild a walkway attached to a bridge over the River Wharf, but says the tree needs to be removed in the process. Contractors arrived this morning to cut it down, but local residents prevented the work from taking place.
They promised a stay of execution now. The police recorded it. The police were really good, did a great bit of mediation between the contractors and us. And we hope they will listen, because the presence around the tree will be ongoing, so whatever happens, they're going to have to remove us at some point.
And we'll keep an eye on that story, because I don't think that's the end of it, is it? Let's have a quick look at sport now. 2 of our teams made it through to the 3rd round of the FA Cup at the weekend, whilst Bradford, Chesterfield and Barnsley were knocked out. Harrogate Town and Doncaster Rovers are still in the mix as Premier League and Championship teams enter the competition tonight. But it wasn't an easy road for either of them, as Sally Hurst reports.
Harrogate were always favourite to win this 2nd round appearance against Gainsborough, a side 73 league places below them. But in the FA Cup, there's always the possibility of an unwelcome surprise. With spirits needing warming up in the wet and cold of Friday night, Harrogate obliged, creating plenty of chances to keep Gainsborough's goalie busy. But after the break, bad luck struck when Stephen Dooley collided with an off-pitch stretcher. An 8-minute delay followed before Dooley was helped off the pitch with a deep cut to his head. The pause, though, allowed his teammates to find their composure, and 3 minutes later, Dean Cornelius scored the decisive goal. That 1-0 win takes Harrogate through to the 3rd round for only the 2nd time in their history.
It's so big for us, and we're overjoyed in there. And we don't overanalyse it, because we came to get the win. And yeah, we could have run over them first half, but it wasn't to be. But still proud of the lads.
Also going in as favourites against non-league side Kettering were the Doncaster Rovers. But this would prove to be a game that raised more than a few eyebrows, as the home side went into the lead before the break. It came down to veteran striker Billy Sharp to save the day for the Rovers and wilt the resolve of the Poppies with 2 goals, the 2nd in extra time.
We managed to get over the line in the end, but credit to them, they gave us a right good game. Pitch was a leveller, and sometimes in football you have to just grind it out, and we've managed to do that today.
Taken to the wire in round 2, Doncaster must now grow stronger for round 3 as Premier League and Championship teams join the competition. The draw is tonight at 7 p.m. Sally Hurst, BBC Look North.
Next tonight, assemblies at a York school will never quite be the same again. After more than a decade out of use, a magnificent pipe organ has been restored at Millthorpe School after the head of the music tracked down the man who originally installed it over 50 years ago. Pulling out the stops, we sent Tom Ingle along to have a listen.
A workout for feet and fingers, a symphony for the ears. Millthorpe School's magnificent pipe organ is once again bellowing loud, following more than a decade slumbering.
I took up the post here in September and I walked into this hall and saw this grand old instrument, got very excited about it, and then said, who plays it? And the answer was no one, and it hadn't been heard in at least 15 years.
Behind the baffles, a pantheon of pipes.
This is the heart of the action, really. It's like an orchestra. And each of these pipes depicts a different type of sound.
The synthesizer of its day then. But forget Kraftwerk, this is more handiwork. Specifically, Geoffrey Coffins. He installed this organ here in the 1970s and remarkably returned to reanimate it.
The ability to play such a grand old instrument, it's not just an instrument, it's an epic piece of engineering, and it will fill this hall. It's amazing. It needs to be used.
Fortunately, with the Minster down the road, there are people right on the school's doorstep who are experts in pulling out the stops.
There's a pipe for every single one of them. Well, the joy of this organ is that it is available for all to play. There are so few places where you have the opportunity to play a real pipe organ, and here there is a real pipe organ for anybody to have a go.
I've always seen it in assembly, since year 7, and now just actually hearing it being played, it's really nice to hear.
It sounds really cool, just amazing. I'm actually really excited to get lessons on it.
The organ doesn't do MIDI, just Maxi, and there's no USB, unless that stands for ultrasonic boom. One thing is certain, school concerts at Millthorpe from now on will be loud and joyful affairs. Tom Ingle, BBC Look North, York.
Loud and proud, we can hear them from the studio in Leeds. Now, I like a Christmas jumper, wearing a few sparkles today, but this one is taking it to a whole new level. A charity in North Yorkshire has dressed up a gritter in its very own giant Christmas jumper. Take a look at this. Oh, isn't that cute? It's called Goldie. Goldie the Gritter has been decked out in the festive knitwear, complete with a Santa hat. It's been done by the Ripon Community Poppy Project. It's taken over 4,000 hours to complete, and over the weekend some of the local school children went down to take a look as well.
I think it's really fun, a fun idea, and it just makes me happy. Everybody who worked on this should be very proud of what they've achieved. I think it's really cool, and then I think it might be like Santa but in truck disguise.
Oh, it looks like a Santa truck, doesn't it? It's all kitted out. And while we're talking about all festive things, the Christmas light switch-ons are also in full swing. Tonight it's the turn of Sheffield Children's Hospital and their lovely snowflakes. Where are they? That way. Beautiful, aren't they? Olivia Richwald is there for us. Now, I love what these represent, Olivia. I'm sure you'll tell us all about it.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, isn't it? It's one of those things, you know it's Christmas when it's the Sheffield Children's Hospital snowflake switch on, isn't it? And hopefully we're going to see that live on Look North very soon. But before we get to that point, I want to tell you about another amazing community fundraiser. He's called Derek High. He lives in Murfield, and for the past 23 years he has spent loads of money and loads of time covering his house in Christmas lights for his community. And Derek has raised almost £90,000, including for his local hospice. Well, last night was his big Christmas switch on, and I was there, and here's a little flavour of it.
Totally amazed at the support that we get, and
We have Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, and to me, it's the best hour of the month, because to see the little children's faces when Santa's coming later that night, it's just amazing to see it. It's worth all the hard work.
Over 2 decades worth of fundraising for local charities, including ours. I mean, it's just the guy's a local hero, and you can see just by the turnout tonight how much it's meant to people in Murfield and beyond.
I remember being 5 years old and coming, so I hope that, well, I don't think he'll remember, but I hope he's enjoyed it.
Previous years it's been really different, and I think this one's the best. It's really good coming here because it's his last year doing it.
Don't mind all the bright lights next door.
Normally I put my dark glasses on. But we've always said we don't need to have to go to Blackpool Illuminations anymore, because it's right outside the front door.
We're just absolutely so proud of him. You know, we see firsthand the hard work, the dedication that goes into the Christmas lights, and we are so very proud of what he's achieved over the years, yeah.
I know how much it's going to be missed, I really do know that. And it was a big decision to stop doing it, but while we're fit and healthy, I think it's time to draw a line under it.
Well, this is the 20th anniversary of the snowflakes on the Children's Hospital here in Sheffield. It started with just 4 snowflakes, but this year there are almost 500, and it's going to raise an astonishing sum. And here the boys are getting ready to push the button. Chad, let's do the countdown.
Let's count down, everyone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well done, Ted and Ralph, 7-year-old twins. That is absolutely fantastic. Doesn't it look brilliant? There are absolutely hundreds of people here, and we can speak now to John Armstrong, who's the Chief Executive. This is such an astonishing amount of money, £430,000 this year. What are you going to spend it on?
It's going to fund a new research centre, which is going to investigate new technology that can help some of the biggest challenges in child health.
And nobody wants their child to spend Christmas in hospital. What do you do here to make it less painful for everyone?
Well, this is the beginning of Christmas for everyone in Sheffield children, so we try and make Christmas as fun and as engaging as possible for children and young people. We decorate the hospital from top to bottom, and most importantly, we try and send as many children home for Christmas as possible. But for the children that are here at Christmas, Father Christmas still comes and visits. He knows that they're here.
Brilliant, thank you so much. And you're going to have a little party tonight, aren't you, now that the lights are officially on? Over the past 20 years that the snowflakes have been here, they have raised almost £3 million, which is a very impressive amount. And the party is just getting started here. There's a choir, there's a band, a brass band, and there'll be lots and lots of special treats tonight for the children, I'm sure.
Well, Olivia, thank you. And we were there last year for Look North at Christmas time at the hospital, and it's such a lovely place for the children in, not a very nice situation for them. Right, Paul, hello.
Hi.
We are all feeling very festive.
Right.
But the weather hasn't been, has it? Yesterday was the first official day of winter, but it was quite warm.
It was very mild, wasn't it? But I've obviously got the statistics for autumn, and coincidentally, they're from Sheffield Weston Park over the road from the Children's Hospital, which is really good. Nothing really to get excited about this autumn, which is September, October and November combined. Wetter than average slightly, normal temperatures, slightly below average sunshine. It was actually the dullest autumn since 2015. Interestingly, the earliest autumn lying snow since 2004, but overall the average has been very average.
Will it be a bleak midwinter?
Well, I have got the latest thinking on the winter forecast, which is December, January and February. I've got a very exciting graph sort of thing to show you.
About your graphs.
Now, this is all probability forecasting, so if that's not your bag, just listen to me. That's suggesting that overall, winter will be mild, wet and windy. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to have shorter cold snaps, but overall, when we crunch the numbers in March, that's the Met Office's forecast, which suggests it's going to be, well, you can see that you've got 2.3 times more than normal the likelihood of it being mild. So I thought you'd be excited with that one.
I feel like it's what you say every day, mild, wet and windy.
That's it. Well, we are in Britain after all. I've got a very nice contact if you've got any questions you want to ask me. It's a QR code, and we do this every Monday in case you're just tuning in for the first time. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, on your screen right now. Now, on Friday, there was one of the most spectacular clouds I've ever seen, and I know we showed it, but I've got two more to show you. That is the most commonest explanation for a UFO anywhere in the world. It's called an alticumulus lenticularis cloud. Now, that was taken in Thurleston, and we had another picture taken from Stocks Bridge looking at the same cloud. So if you think it's a fiddle, it's not. Those clouds were absolutely memorable. So thanks for sending them in. If you've got any pictures you'd like to send to me on X, on Instagram, or on the Weather Watcher website. Now, early December is going to be very lively indeed. That said, tomorrow will be fine with some sunshine. It looks like Wednesday and Friday will be fine, but we have got some potentially stormy weather to come next weekend. And just look at this train of weather fronts. That's Tuesday night, could be rain and a bit of snow. And then that's Thursday's weather system. Friday looks fine, and then this could be the next named storm for the weekend. It's not yet developed. We'll keep a close eye on that one coming in on Saturday. Now, we're looking to the north at the moment. These blues indicate patchy outbreaks of rain. They continue to slip southwards, mainly along the coast. There could be a few showers inland, but eventually we all become dry with clear periods, and there'll be a widespread slight frost, 1 or 2 icy patches, and we'll see temperatures coming in at around 0 or -1 in countryside areas. Tomorrow's high water time zone in Scarborough 5:05, Bridlington at 5:24. So watch out for frost, a bit of ice, the odd shower towards the coast, but all in all, it looks a much better day. It's dry and bright with some sunshine. That sunshine a bit hazy at times, but it will feel cold even for December. We're looking at below average temperatures. 5 in Leeds and York, and Doncaster is 41 Fahrenheit. Now, tomorrow night there could be some rain, a little bit of snow over the Pennines. Wednesday it's fine, Thursday rain later. Friday should be mostly fine. Wet and potentially very windy on Saturday. Very changeable, that's it.
You know what, I'm going to start asking you every day now.
Yeah.
Is it going to be White Christmas?
Right, we'll keep asking.
Mark Ansell's here with the late news, but that is it from us for now. And Paul will also be back at 10:30 as well. Bye-bye for now.